2030 AD. Post-ecological holocaust. Director Charles Band creates a unique science fiction world with Crash and Burn, the newest release from Full Moon Entertainment.
It's a future where nuclear bombs have not exploded, people on Earth have not been annihilated by some alien force. What has happened simply is there has been an economic collapse, and several large corporations have wound up really buying out government debt and really effectively controlling the world, coupled with our messing up the ozone layer and the climate being at certain times of the day and on certain days of the month really unlivable. It's a future that could actually happen if we're all not careful.
Well, you really ought to go inside.
Jumped over the moon.
Why?
Low.
The ultraviolet.
You got a letter?
Burning you up.
It smells like the letters Luann used to get
Why?
from her mom in prison. Only prison years.
Megan Ward plays Erin, the granddaughter of renegade television newscaster Ralph Waite of television's The
I've been
Waltons.
pre-approved for a gold card.
Since I grew up in the desert and I don't really have any playmates, I find that all my time is playing with robots and computers. And so I learned how to resurrect this 80-foot dilapidated robot. And turns out I get to save the day with it.
One more time, because she is the
What I
person
think it
who has had the most positive
DBA.
impact on my life. Sincerely, Wesley Martin Archer. That's a good name for a killer. What was he like, huh? Did he speak real proper English like an evil genius? I think maybe he had wavy brown
Back when they
hair.
really made them big.
Or was he that albino boy? Well, you'll all come back to me when I say it.
Oh, wait a second here. You're not thinking of going into a prison,
They
are you?
built it for the Mexican uranium mines, but when the mines went dry, they just
I
dumped
split
them.
in and out of people's
It's all
lives,
learned,
and I
isn't
never
it?
know if I
Really?
made a difference. With this boy, I did make an impact.
What are you going to say to
He's
this
in
old guy?
prison, Peggy.
The first time we revealed the robot,
Peggy, some of these
Megan and I
guys
are
say
walking
a
up
woman
to it and
since they
taking a
killed
look
their
at it.
wives.
And it's
You're
very
gonna
difficult
insist on
because we're
going,
using
do you have to be
miniatures,
all
and
decked out like some
to walk
disco
up to
dancer?
nothing but a rock pile, and you have to really use your imagination. Actually, it turns out to be my ally. Most of the robots are my enemies in this one, but this guy is my friend.
Imprisoned by the thermal storm raging outside, the reluctant guests prepare to bed down for what will be a long night.
Are you just gonna joke your way through your entire life, Boomhauer?
Don't snap at Boomhauer just because you're losing control of your woman. Believe me, Hank, if you don't stop here, the next step will be cutting your allowance.
Oh, you can't raise Peggy in there. Peggy's like a wild
Well, Crash and Burn is the computer virus that attacks the androids, the synthoids in the film. And that's why they go after and kill my grandfather and proceed to kill everyone else.
You see, there's a teeny tiny little chip in my big gargantuan brain. The company calls it the Jiminy Factor because it's like a conscience. It's got a cue to it. But I would never, in a million, billion, trillion years, terminate a human. But thanks to a miracle of modern
Be a bag on that table.
poor little Jiminy Cricket
A con could use a mascara applicator to scoop a man's eye
has
right out of his head.
created and burned. Jiminy Cricket Factor is an implanted conscience, which is apparently, according to the screenplay, all that stands between Quinn the human and Quinn the killer robot. It's funny that a conscience can be reduced to a microchip, but nonetheless, that's what's happened
I killed
in
myself.
2030. My cheek was stabbed and ripped by the ingenue here. My head was squibbed. My head exploded with a shotgun blast from PG back there. It's a tough life being a synthoid.
But it is the DV-8 robot who is without a doubt Crash and Burn's biggest star and truest hero.
I'm sorry, Mom.
Action.
Special effects wizard Dave Allen has fabricated the DV-8 out of polystyrene plastic and resin. It is 4.5 feet tall and weighs 40 pounds. 6 puppeteers are required to animate the DV-8. One for the legs, one for each arm, one for the hand control, one for the highlights, and one to counterbalance and control the headlight. The robot puppetry is shot in front of a blue screen, a necessity for certain optical effects.
In this particular case, the robot is not featured throughout the film. We're aware of the robot's presence. The young girl in the picture tries to reactivate the robot during the film, and luckily, much like the cavalry at the end of a Western, the robot does come to life at the end and really does save the day by, on top of other things, squishing our villain.
Metal and muscle, man and machine, Crash and Burn.
If you would come in and tutor me, well, what's the happiest color?
To teach him to read it?
Hank, I'm a teacher. I sell knowledge, and it doesn't